We will be showing you guys how to do some flexibility testing. First, you want to make sure that your client has a warm-up for at least 5 minutes with moderate aerobic activity and stretching. First, we'll be showing you the Canadian trunk forward flexion test, which is a standard sit and reach test. You want to make sure that you subtract 3 centimeters from your results, because the ones that we are using start at 23 centimeters and in the book starts at 26 centimeters. You want to make sure that your client takes off their shoes, does put their feet against the flexometer and make sure they're flat, lean forward with fingers parallel or overlapping each other, but do not lead with one hand. Make sure the client takes a deep breath before reaching forward. Make sure your head goes forward in between client's arms when reaching forward, and they also exhale at the same time. Knees cannot be lifted. They will need to remain straight, and make sure that the client does come in contact with the flexometer. Hold for 2 seconds when the subject has gone as far as they can. Write down measurements in centimeters, and then repeat. Take best of 2 measurements for hamstring flexibility. Here you have the fitness categories for trunk forward flexion using a sit and reach box. Make sure you do subtract 3 since our box does start at 23 and the results start from 26. Our client is 21, so we go under the age of 21, and she is female. She did do 34, so minus 3 would be 31. Our client would sit under fair, under women for the age of 21. We will now be doing the straight leg raise test. You want to make sure that the client is laying on their back in supine position. Make sure lower back is on the floor and not arched. Push leg toward them to a comfortable position, and the other leg must remain on the floor. Hold down if necessary. Use the ganometer to measure with axis placed on greater trunker and the inclinometer placed on the tibial tubercle. 90 degrees is acceptable. Anything under 80 degrees is unacceptable. Make sure to do both legs individually. Make sure also to record whether they are acceptable or not acceptable. We will now be doing the YMCA sit and reach test. You want to make sure that the feet must be 10 to 12 inches apart. Use some tape so that you can have correct measuring. Feet are placed at 15 inches on the yardstick. Have the client sit where the yardstick is in between their legs. Heels should touch the ends of your measure tape on the floor. Make sure hands and arms are parallel to the floor and that they do not lead with one hand. Fingertips may be overlapped and should come in contact with the yardstick when reaching. They may exhale when reaching forward, but for the most part make sure that they are breathing normally. Repeat for another trial as well. Measured in inches, you may use the chart given for the norms for the inches that are recorded. So now you can use this, which is the fitness categories for the YMCA sit and reach test in inches, by age and sex. With the results from our client, who is 21 years old, she reached at about 19 inches for both trials. So for here, for a female, she would fall under average. We now have our chair sit and reach test. For this test, it is usually used for older adults, 60 and over. The chair needs to be 17 inches and put against the wall. This is used for hamstring flexibility. The right foot should be tested first, then left. Have the foot at a dorsiflexion. Head and back are straight. Do not tuck the head down for this test. A ruler will be needed and will be placed parallel to your client's lower leg. Touch the big toe and go as far as possible, and hold for 2 seconds. Take the difference from the toe to fingers, and then repeat for another trial. And you would take the best of 2. After you're done with both trials, the way the scoring works will be the middle of the toe represents 0. Anything that is short of the big toe will be minus scoring, and anything that is reached beyond the big toe will be recorded as a plus scoring. So for our client, our right was +6 and left was +9.